Superman and Lois is back, everyone. That's right. They went on hiatus for a couple of weeks, but we are finally able to return back to this world. And we got one episode left. This was the penultimate, episode 14, The Eradicator. Really good episode. This show it's blown me away at every turn. I don't think it missed a beat at all. Like, it just knew, hey, here we go. Here's what we're doing. And it's worked. It's so nice to see, like, a CW production actually go out on top. Because there's been some fizzling out as of late with these shows, but this one, good for you, man. I like it. So I apologize for my casual looking demeanor right now because I'm recording this episode really late at night and I just didn't feel like getting dolled up for you. So let's break down this penultimate episode of Superman and Lois. There's a lot of good stuff that happened here. One of the things I really liked about this episode was just kind of like the death of Smallville. You know, we've been setting it up for a long time that Smallville is a community that is not thriving. It's falling apart, is being lost to like big cities and big corporations, and this is kind of like the final nail in the coffin for the city. We see that like the hardware store closed down, a lot of these smaller places and these businesses have been shutting down, and the town isn't able to grow or thrive because of it. It doesn't help anything that the DOD is still stranded inside there, and I've been working in there for a long time, so now this town's like, we got the military here for some reason, nobody's coming to our town, we have to close our businesses for all of these reasons, we're dying, Smallville is dying, and that's a really cool area to explore. You know, Smallville kind of represents this certain energy about a Superman book where it's like the positivity, the happiness, the honesty, the good side of Superman, but it's like, we can actually get dark here. We can turn like this positive ray of Superman, the thing that made him who he is, and kind of break it down in a really healthy way. I think like it actually makes sense the way the story progresses with that thing. We see that the Gazette has to be shut down too because Chrissy can't afford to keep working there, so she sells it off to a big corporation. Kind of tragic, man. It's kind of tragic. But of course, a big element of this episode is the DOD still occupying Smallville, and people are starting to get worried. So Sam decides, oh, I know what the right thing to do is. Let's hold a town hall. People can voice their concerns. And this scene, I think, was just like, yeah, guys, we are no longer in COVID restriction stuff. We can actually have some physical attributes. One of the things I did notice about this episode, now I don't know if this was intentional or not, but there was a lot of random characters touching each other's faces. We see Jordan touch John's face at some point. He's touching Sarah's face. Like, just these random moments of characters touching each other's faces, which, when you're filming in a pandemic, it's weird. So I think maybe it's like, hey, COVID restrictions were lifted when we filmed this episode, so we can have people touching faces a little bit. Maybe that's the case of what happened here. I don't really know, but I just thought that was kind of like a weird choice where people were just touching each other's faces a bit. The town hall meeting, there was a lot of extras in there, a lot of people getting mad at Sam. And it was like, okay, we got a lot of people in this scene, and it worked. Looked really cool. It was a really nice scene, just having everybody in the town just mad at the DOD and Sam. And when Lois tries to calm it down and she reveals that they don't have Morgan Edge, and now the town's like, what are you still doing here then? Go find him. We have to stop that guy. I'm just like, yeah, this works. I'm on board for that. I really like that scene because it's not Sam in his element. It's Lois kind of in hers, and you just see the way that she's trying to help her father, also help Chrissy, who is going against her father. It's like a great dynamic for Lois. And when Derek's mom comes in screaming about how like the DOD has her son locked up and they're investigating his death, and she's like, you don't know what it's like to lose a child, and that's where it just like, this is it. This is Bitsy Tulloch doing her best, man. Just holding back the pain. It is so great to see in that moment. I think it's perfect. Like, she just knocked it out of the park in there. This was such a good episode. We get some more stuff with the kids, of course. In particular, we see that the relationship between Jordan and Sarah is growing. They're really happy with each other. They like spending time together. But Mama and Papa, Kyle and Lana, might be moving. They're thinking about it. Of course, Sarah doesn't want to do that. She kind of gets mad at them and yells at them like, we can't leave. You guys are idiots. You are abandoning this town. But we see Kyle does get an offer to work at another fire station in Bristol County, I think they said. Is there some significance to that county? I don't know. I think that's kind of cool to see. I like Kyle. I know people are like, oh, this guy's just Lana's weirdo. I like Kyle. I think he's a good character. He's a well-rounded character who's trying to look after his family. There's nothing wrong with that. Another thing we get in this episode that kind of surprised me was we finally get to see Clark and Lana like alone in a scene. I think that was just like, where was this? Where has this been throughout most of the show? I thought we would at least get a couple scenes where we're kind of like building up like the love triangle, the love square even, because they're both married, but I guess not. Which is nice to see them together, because you buy their chemistry, you buy that these people like each other, and I thought that was really nice to see that. And we see John is still talking to that woman, I forget her name, from the last couple episodes, where she's kind of like led him on to hurt his feelings more than one occasion. They do have kind of like a heart-to-heart moment at a party that the boys go to, and it's just like she moved there from Central City, which leads me to believe that might be a setup because her dad's in prison. So are we going to set up that maybe her dad is a supervillain that either fought the Flash or is adjacent to the Flash? Maybe Toyman. Like, that could be something. That could be something. You don't say Central City and her father's in prison if you ain't setting that up. So these two little kids, I say little kids, they're 14 and they're adults pretty much. They got some stuff going on. That's kind of nice to see. We see that Jordan and Sarah still kind of get into an argument a little bit because Sarah doesn't want to stay together, seeing the long distance thing if she does actually move to Bristol County. She's a little bit worried about that, but Jordan wants to make it work so well. But can he do it? Can that kid find the way to make it work? We'll have to wait and see. We'll have to wait and see, because one of the biggest events of the Superman and Lois TV show happens in this episode, and that is poetry repeating itself. It's pretty much the invasion that we saw in John Henry Irons' world is now coming to ours. So Talro, Morgan Edge, he has absorbed all of the power of the Eradicator, and using that he can put the bodies and souls of Kryptonians into that of other people. So he's going to do that like a lunatic. He does it to some people that we see later, but he heads to Metropolis because he wants to strike Superman in the heart. So we see again a classic team up between Superman and Steel, but Lois is there this time. Tal Roche is like standing over everyone, hovering like a maniac. Our guys show up to fight him, and we see that in the crowd of these people watching, he has given the personalities of 4 Kryptonians to some random people. And we see, here's our fight. We're going to fight 4 Kryptonians. It's a really nice fight. Now, this is where I think, okay, we stepped back for a minute because we needed the CG to catch up, maybe. We had to get this work done because these are our final 2 episodes. We should make them look nice, because this episode looked really good in terms of the CG. Probably some of the best that the CG has looked in this entire show. So John Henry Irons is fighting some people, Superman is fighting some people, but Talro is still standing there, and Lois is like, I gotta report on this. The world needs to know what Morgan Edge is doing right now. I'm gonna go do that. And she goes to the top of a building where she's, one of the reporters from the Daily Planet is there. I don't remember which reporter. It's not Kat, right? Is Callista Flockhart still Kat Grant in this universe? Is she? I don't remember. She looks like the same age as Perry White. Like, they'd be around that age. I don't know. That's neither here nor there. Callista Flockhart was in this. I forgot that she was in this. I was like, that's great. I love her. Really fun. But Lois goes on a building to report this, setting up the exact same shot that happened on John Henry Irons' world. And even John, when they were watching the newscast at this party, is like, this is how Mom dies. This is literally how Mom dies. And we see that Leslie Lar comes to kill her, literally in the same way that Lois died before. But she doesn't flinch while she's reporting the news. And you're just like, oh my god, this is an intense moment. This is just scary, because Lois is going to die here. We've seen this happen, and we think for a moment she's going to die. But back in a fight, John Henry Irons, his steel hammer comes swooping in, and he throws it. He misses his target, but that is not his intended target. His actual target is Leslie Lar. The hammer comes in and hits her right before she can kill Lois. And it is one of the most badass moments ever. You're just like, that's beautiful. That was so beautiful. I'm just, that's amazing. Like, when we set up the shot that Lois is going to be on there, I'm like, no, you're set. You can't do this. It's too intense. But they made it work in a believable way. I thought it was just fantastic. Oh, that worked so well. So Steel and Superman managed to fight off the rest of the Kryptonians, but they still got the Eradicator himself to fight. And how is that going to work? Before they can even attack him, he kind of like vanishes away. And we realize he is going for a certain target. But who's the target he's going for? We don't know that yet. And then we see at this party, big old grandpa comes in to take John and Jordan away because they've been ignoring his calls. They take Sarah with them too. And as they're driving away, just down one alley somewhere in the middle of wherever they're filming this, you just see Talro crashes down. flips the car, they're all inside, everyone's injured. We see that Sam can't even move. He's trying to get John to grab the kryptonite gun that is inside his glove compartment, so John grabs it. He tries to shoot Talro, it doesn't work, and he just flies away. He reappears, grabs Jordan, and flies away. And we end the episode in a beautiful fashion with Clark flying into the air, trying to find his son, but not able to find him, just breaking down in Lois's arms. That was incredible. That was incredible. That's what you do if you're going to make Superman and Lois parents. I know some people love it, some people don't. I, for one, like it a lot. If you're going to do that, you have to show the humanity of Clark and Lois, because these people are the best of the world. So you have to have them be so emotionally invested in their kids' lives to a scarying amount of degree. And this was great, just seeing the way both of them break down. Just like, I can't find Jordan, I can't hear him, he's gone. That is scary. That is a great way to end the penultimate episode, man. And then we see that Talro puts the mind of his father inside of Jordan at the end, giving us probably what's going to be a Superman versus his son fight in a timely fashion in the next episode. This is intense, man. Oh, this was really, really good. Like, the action was great, the CG was great, the characterizations were great. Everything worked in this. You bought the relationships, you bought the romance, you bought the hardships, you bought Bitsy Tulloch and Tyler Hoechlin as these characters, because I think they're the best. They are right up there with Kidder and Reeve, man. Like, these kids really know what they're doing as Superman and Lois, and it's so great to see that. I'm glad the show was renewed for a second season. I am super pumped to see what this last episode is going to bring us, but this was just action-packed and intense, and when you see Lois on that building, setting up the shot where she dies on the alternate Earth, you can't help but feel like, damn, they might actually kill her. And when the hammer comes in, you just can't help but smile. This show has found a way to make me smile at every turn, and I think this episode is one of the strongest of the season. It's amazing what we can do when we try to make Superman likable. Not hard to make him likable, it's really easy to make him likable, and some people need to realize that this is the best interpretation we've seen of Superman in a long time. What a strong episode, a great penultimate episode for what's going to be an action-packed finale. I can't wait to watch it, and I cannot wait to talk about it with you guys. So, thank you for watching this review of Superman and Lois. I have the backlist of all of them. You can catch up if you want to know more about the show. It's fun. It's a good show. So, thank you guys for watching this review. Be sure to like and subscribe to the channel. As always, you can check me out on Instagram, TikTok, and Twitter, and I will catch you in the next one. Have fun. Stay safe. Good luck.